Alright, we're going to do driving video number 2. I was just finally able to get fuel. I'm not in a terrible rush, but it's still annoying as hell. These sons of bitches taking their 30s at the fuel island. There was some just jackass, no shame. I'm not going to call out ethnicities or anything on it. But I would suspect that we have an enormous foreign labor force in the trucking industry. Work visas or whatever. But yeah, no shame. Guys just sitting there, just parked at the fucking fuel island, went in the store, got some stuff, and then sat in his truck at the pump. Nobody in front of him. He could have been, at least at a minimum, pulled forward. And he just sat there at his pump, like making a sandwich. He bought ingredients to make a sandwich and just sat there in his truck, like putting mayonnaise or something on the bread, and making a sandwich and eating it right there, while there was just lines of people backed up. It's died down now. Like, there was some people blocking the islands, taking their breaks and stuff, and they pretty much got run out. Most everybody, whenever they saw the trucks behind them, moved up to parking spots. So see how many, like, there's tons of pull-through spots up here. I mean, even if you can't back up worth a damn, there's still pull-through spots that you can take your 30 at. I just don't understand people. It's just, like, no shame. They don't care about other people at all. But yeah, everybody else pretty much pulled away and let the pumps open up, and the pumps, you know, the line got cleared out pretty quick, except that one guy is just sitting there making a sandwich in his truck. No shame, just blocking the fuel island. But anyway, enough about that. Let me grab a soda. I think I'm pretty well set up in the truck now. Everything is pretty good. I got into Niagara, and I'm just about to start rolling. So I got into Niagara at like 6:30 this morning, about an hour and a half early for my 8 a.m. appointment. And they had me loaded by 8:30, about 2 hours, which is pretty quick for Niagara. Niagara typically takes like 3-4 hours to load you. So, when it's 9 a.m., I'm 2 hours away from my delivery. Sorry, I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff and starting to get rolling and stuff. Check flashers real quick. I've done like 3 pre-trips this morning, but you know, you can never have too many pre-trips. I hope I can make it out, because there's a whole bunch of people that are creatively parked in this parking lot. A lot of them don't realize that they're like blocking roads. I'm going to try taking the normal exit. Most people have to go out the entrance because there's so many dumbasses that block the exit. This is the exit right here. Go around this building and go straight all the way to the grass over there by the service road, and then go left. There's a narrow little road. And I know that can't get back to the fuel island. Well, you might maybe be able to squeeze around the trucks, but there's a whole bunch of trucks in this roadway. There's 2 exits. You can't make it to the exit at the light because there's a whole bunch of people parked there. I saw them coming in. Maybe if there's nobody in line at the fuel island, I might be able to make it around. There's some people parked in the road. I'm basically going to come out here, and then I'm going to take a right, and then another right. See, I'll show you right here. You see where that guy's turning? That's one of the exits. But to get back to the fuel island, let's say you want to fuel up after, you know, sleeping for the night, you drive straight through there. Now, there were like 6 trucks parked right there where you see those two parked in the roadway, in the fire lane right there, which is illegal as shit. There were like 6 of them parked across there. There was no way to get back across there to the fuel island. But we're gonna do it here. We're just gonna take a right and then another right. I didn't bother doing a second scale on the load, so the load scaled heavy on the trailer tandems. I'll go over real briefly scaling a load. Sorry, Google is like every time I get near a turn, Google just won't shut the fuck up. So she's going to be talking like crazy throughout this on ramp, and then getting on the John Kilpatrick. Not John Kilpatrick. Yeah, it is the John Kilpatrick. The next one's the Turner Turnpike. This one's the John Kilpatrick. So I'm on I-40 right now, and I'm going to stay in this lane, take this exit, and get on the John Kilpatrick, take that around town, and that pretty much turns into the Turner Turnpike, which is I-44, going to Tulsa. So we'll talk about scale on a load. Oh my God, pedestrians. Like, there's just so much shit that you have to deal with out here on the damn road. These people just don't give a shit, just walking right down the damn fog line. Oh, they moved over a little bit. I'm not gonna get Google. Sorry, as soon as I started talking, Google was just like paragraphs to tell me to take an exit. We're wanting to take the north. So what I was trying to say before Google started yelling in my ear is I was not trying to build up too much speed because I had an exit that I was going to have to slow down for coming up pretty quick. But it's like 11.8 on the steers, 32.1 on the drives, and then 34.7 on the trailer tandems. I didn't even bother doing a secondary scale because I'm pretty sure that I'm not going across a way station, and even if I do go across a way station, shut the fuck up, Google! Oh my God, so annoying. It's so hard to talk when somebody's like yelling at you. Just a second. Like, she's gonna tell me to, like, she's already told me to merge on. She's gonna tell me to merge again here in a second, and then she should be quiet until I get to the 44 junction. Alright, we should be good to go with Google not interrupting me. This is just basically going to be a driving video. I don't know how long I'm going to run it. So it's like 11.8, 32.1, 34.7. So I slid the tandems back 3 notches because I had plenty on my that I could move to my drives. So I could tell by the way they had it loaded that I was probably going to have to move the tandems back. Since it was an in-state load and I was not going to have to take it out of state, they normally load it real nose heavy so you can slide the tandems really far forward. But this one, they loaded like ass heavy because it was an in-state load. Yeah, just pull in front of an 80,000 pound vehicle. It's, awesome. So if you have to slam on your brakes, you can die. I hope you know that, bitch. Second, I get really uncomfortable when I don't have much following distance. And I'm going up a slight hill, so I'm slowing down a little bit, but alright, we got some decent distance now. So So I slid it back 3 holes. There is no specific amount that each notch or each hole, whatever you want to refer to it as, shifts the weight, because it's different on every single load. You can sit there and measure out exactly how much weight you're displacing on every notch on a load, and you can write that down, and you can think that you have this amazing number where every time you move a hole on your tandems, it's going to displace that much weight. That's just not the case. It depends on how they load it. It depends on where the weight is at in the trailer. It depends on whether it's in front of or behind the axle, or in center of the axle. It depends on if the heavy stuff is at the rear, or if it's in the middle or at the front, or if it's evenly distributed all the way across. Like, every single load, you're going to displace a different amount of weight based on the load. But a rule of thumb, a general rule of thumb, is you're going to move approximately 250 to 350 pounds with each hole. So, me sitting there thinking about the low end, I only needed to move about 700 pounds. So if I move it 3 notches, even if I'm moving on the low end of around 250 pounds per hole, then that's 750 pounds that I just shifted to the front. And I had plenty to work with at the front. So even if it was at the 350 range per hole, then that's, I've still got easily 1,000 pounds to play with. And I would have displaced 1,000 pounds up to the front. So I am quite certain that I would scale legal. And if I don't scale legal, weigh station people would probably be nice enough to let me move it 1 more hole. I should have probably just moved it 1 more hole anyway, since I had so much to play with on the drives. So, it should be fairly common sense, but for anybody who doesn't know any better, anybody who can't think logically, that needs to be told how to do stuff, moving the trailer tandems, if you want to put more weight on the drives, then you move the tandems backward. You move them to the rear. So I was too heavy in the ass. If I would have moved the tandems on the trailer forward, then that would put more weight on the trailer tandems. So I moved them backward to the rear 3 notches, and that should move 3 notches of weight onto the drives. I have a sliding 5th wheel as well, so I could move that around if I needed to. And I have never, ever had to move my sliding 5th wheel to displace weight. I've never had to do that. But I've heard that it's approximately 100 pounds per notch on the sliding 5th wheel. So there's your lesson on weight. And just another little quick tidbit of information is the way that they load the trailers. You really ideally want, if the load is heavy at all, if you're having to worry about weights at all, you want all of the heavy weight in between your axles. If they put too much weight in the very front of the trailer or too much weight at the very rear of the trailer, then you may not be able to displace that weight by sliding tandems or sliding your 5th wheel or anything like that. They're going to have to rework the load if they put too much weight in the front or the rear. And if it's an LTL type load where you have mixed cargo, like me, this is just all bottled water. It's all the exact same. It's all the exact same weight pallets, same size, same weight pallets. So they just need to put the entire load in a particular place for it to be able to, for me to be able to scale it. But if it were a mixed weight load, where some stuff was really light and some stuff was heavy, the best way to load that is the heaviest stuff dead center in between the 2 axles. if they load it that way, then that is the most weight. Like, whenever I'm talking about on the high end and the low end about how much weight you displace, if they load it to where, like, it's real heavy on the ass end, that's one of those situations where moving it like a whole won't displace as much weight. It may only, move 200 pounds or something if it's loaded really bad. But if the weight is dead center, that's when the most weight is going to, that's when like 350 pounds a hole is going to happen. If they've got it like all the weight in between the axles, your drives, your trailer tandems. I say trailer tandems because your drives are tandems as well. It's the drive tandems and the trailer tandems. A lot of people just call the trailer tandems tandems. But whenever somebody just says tandems, they could be referring to the trailer or the drives. Tandem axle is more than one axle paired together. Your drives are more than one axle paired together. Usually, like, there are some trucks that don't have tandem drives. So anyway, what's going on? We are headed to Ochalata, which is like 30 or 40 miles north of Tulsa. It's going to be toll roads almost the whole way. It's so my pickup appointment was at 8 a.m. My delivery appointment is at 3 p.m. It's a Walmart load, so I have to arrive within an hour early of the delivery appointment. I can't arrive outside that 1 hour window, so I have to arrive sometime between 2 and 3 p.m. and there's zero tolerance on that with Walmart. If I get there at like 1:59, then I think it's like something like a $500 fine. They'll charge the broker $500, which the broker will charge me $500. Sucks. I've never done a live unload at Walmart that I can remember. So this will be a new experience for me. Actually, you know what? I think I have done one, but I don't remember it very well. If I remember correctly, they made me drop my trailer at the dock, and then they made me go park in a bobtail section, and they called me when it was done. I don't know. I don't remember it very well. I've been to this Walmart DC quite a few times. I don't go there often enough that I have it memorized. Like, they're all so similar that I get little things mixed up with them. I don't go to the same one like every week. It'll be sometimes a month. Like, I haven't been to this one in a month or two. Been a couple months. Excuse me. But we're just gonna set the cruise at 70. Speed limit right now on John Kilpatrick is 70. It's going to go up to 75 on the Turner Turnpike, but I'm not going to bother going up to 75 with a heavy ass load, and I'm really early. It's only about 2.5 hour drive, and like I said, I can't get there early, and there is no place to park near that Walmart. So what I'm going to do is there's not really much in the way of truck stops in Tulsa. There's not really much of anything, any good places to stop on this route. So I'm going to stop at the little truck stop gas station that's in the middle of the toll road. I don't remember where exactly it's at, but I remember that there is one. And I think it's like 40 miles outside of Oklahoma City, so I'm still going to be like 100 miles away, but that's where I plan on stopping, and I'm just going to sit there and wait until I'm, close enough that I'm going to arrive within that 1 hour window. So maybe I'll keep it rolling until we get to that gas station truck stop in the middle of the interstate, in the middle of the toll road. We're just cruising across North Oklahoma City right now. And this drive right here is so much. Can he do it? Can this Mini Cooper do it? Am I going to have to switch lanes? No, he's got it. Oh my goodness. Look at him go. Look at him go. He was giving it everything he got. Like, I started to move over, and then I saw how much he was accelerating, and I was like, nah, he's going to be able to make it. He's going to make it. Oh, now he's slowing down on me. He's probably getting off at his next exit. It's only like $1 to drive on this road, and it's worth it because driving 40 and 35 through town, even Sunday morning like it is right now, it just sucks. This is a really, the difference is worth $1. It's worth it to just bypass town, because on the John Kilpatrick you're driving on the outskirts of town, the edge of town. If you take 40 and 35 to get to 44, then you're driving right through the center of town. This is nice. It's pretty much like this all the time. It's a really nice road. And because it's a toll road, it keeps a lot of people off of it, even though it's only like $1. My toll cost is going to be high this week, and I'm going to be going across that toll road in southern Pennsylvania. I don't know how much this is going to cost me. The toll app that I looked at said that cash was $140, transponder was $100, and if you use Best Pass, you could get $40 off. And I don't know if that $40 off was off of the 140 or off of the 100. I have Best Pass, so am I going to be paying 60? 100? I don't know. One of those two. I have a transponder, so I'm definitely not paying 140. So I don't know if I'm going to be paying 100 or 60. I hope it's a 60. Why is it that as soon as I start coming up on slow traffic, people are passing me in the left, and now I got people coming on the right? Been nobody around me until I start approaching this slow vehicle, and then all of a sudden I got people on both sides of me. Traffic starts picking up in town, you just got to stay out of that damn right lane. All these people are just on here for 1 or 2 exits. They'll punt around in that lane. They'll brake early. They merge on slow. They merge off slow. I don't know why this jackass just moved over in front of me, and he's going slower than me. Doesn't seem to matter what lane I'm in. Whatever lane I'm in, that's the one all the four-wheelers will hop into. I guess they assume since I'm a professional that I'm in the lane that everybody should be in. This guy's drifting into my lane. He's drifting back into his lane. He's drifting back into my lane. He's playing on his fucking down to like 55 or 50 or something throughout that interchange, and then it pops back up to 75. Down to one lane. I can't remember if it's this lane or the other lane to the right that continues. I'm staying in this lane because I think it's this lane that continues. Away than I thought, and I was going to move over to the right-hand lane, but I got a car that merged on, a couple of cars that merged on that are passing me over on that right side, so I'm just going to stick it out over here. Now there's nobody behind me for a while. That's the sign for the junction. 1 mile. Alright, what all the lanes do. I should know this, but I normally... Well, I guess I kind of normally do go this way. I just don't really pay that much attention. Next 12 miles. What is the next 12 miles? Oh, next exit is 12 miles. Speed limit's dropping down to 60. Dropping out of 55. Lean in, merge left. Alright, so I'm in the right. Oh well. I think it's an on-ramp lane that is. No, it's the right lane. So we're in the right lane. I did remember correctly. We are good. But we're going to pick up another lane here with all this traffic merging on from 35. Yeah, I'm planning on going 70, but it's going to be dictated by other vehicles because I don't want to be passing a lot of people and I don't want to get constantly passed. I want to find a good speed where I'm just kind of flowing with everybody else. God, there's a huge pack of trucks in front of me. I know FedEx can't go 70, so I'm probably going to be passing like 1,000 trucks. 75 mile an hour speed limit. Pop open my Coke. So I brought a ton of soda with me. I have a 24 pack of Pepsi. I have like 8 Cokes left over. And when I did that last Walmart delivery, I ordered the Walmart brand Coke. We'll see if that, it's kind of hard to screw up Coke. We'll see how bad Walmart brand Coke is. I lived on Dr. Thunder was younger. When I first moved out on my own, 18, 19 years old, Dr. Thunder and ramen. It's like, I don't know how I lived for so long on pretty much nothing but Dr. Thunder and ramen. One thing we didn't go cheap on, though, was alcohol. Bought 20 packs of bottled Budweiser every time we went to the grocery store. Free restrooms in 30 miles. That's probably where the gas station truck stop is at. I want to say it's like 40 miles from Oklahoma City. 40-ish. So that would put it right there around where I thought it was at. Well, we should be maybe 90 miles away from our destination at that little truck stop. I think that's where I'm going to sit and hang out for a couple of hours. Let's see, I can't deliver until 2 at the earliest, so I'd want to leave there around noon. So probably closer to 12:30. I'll have to see what the exact mileage is there. So I'll probably leave somewhere around 12:30, and it is almost 10 a.m. right now, so I'm going to get there shortly after 10. It's 9:42 a.m. right now. I'll get there at like 10:15, and I'll sit there until about 12:30, so about 2 hours. I don't see a need to do an 8-2 split, but just because it's going to be really close to 2 hours, I'm going to make sure that it is 2 hours. Just in case something happens where I need to do an 8-2 split, I'll have the 2 hour portion of the 8-2 split done. Somebody does some stupid shit like that, I'll hug the side of the lane just in case I need to get over. I don't know why people want to move over and be so close together. I think that people they need to go through continuing education with driving, and it needs to be explained to them how fucking dangerous it is to be traveling, two vehicles traveling at such high speeds that close to each other. That's like some shit that, they should only do in the circus or something. It's dangerous and dumb. Oh, this guy's hauling ass. I'm doing 70. Speed limit 75. This guy's coming up on me hard. He's probably doing 78 to 80. That four-wheeler that the one that came in too close, that one's going about 5 miles an hour faster than me, about 75. The cars passing in are going about 80. And this truck is hauling Ace past me. He's doing about 80, 78 to 80, somewhere in that area. He's going 8 to 10 over what I'm doing. Up to 74 miles an hour going downhill right now. delivering it same day. 140 miles is the loaded miles on it. It's going to Ochalata, north of Tulsa. So Oklahoma City to Ochalata. It's a Walmart load. Pays $830, I think. I can't remember exactly how much I make on the load. I only get 65% of the $830 plus fuel surcharge, which is like $26 or something. So I'm gonna make like, I don't know, $600 something on this load, I'm guessing, just off the top of my head. And then my next load is in Springfield, Missouri, which is a 180 something mile deadhead, which I'm going to do after I make this delivery. I'm going to deadhead there. That load is going to York, Pennsylvania, and it pays $3,100 something. It's a 1,000 mile load, paying $3,100 something, so like $310 a mile. And I only get 65% of that. What I am making on the mileage, I can't remember exactly. I want to say it's like $212 a mile is what I'm making on it. Once you factor in fuel surcharge. So with these two loads combined, it's something like $2,700 that I'm going to make off these two loads, and then I have fuel cost on top of that, which is probably going to be $500, $500 to $700 or so. So what I would bring home from this would be, probably $500 in fuel, and then I have $126 in fixed costs per week, and I do not have a truck payment. So I would, if this is all I did this week was these two little loads, which is basically 1,200 miles, I would bring home $2,000. That would be my take home after all expenses, which is that's how much a fairly well-paid company driver makes, is about $2,000 a week. That's at the upper end of company driver pay. So it's pretty solid, but I plan on doing a lot more than these two loads this week. What I plan on doing is out of York, Pennsylvania, and I talked about this in detail in one of my videos a few days ago when I was trip planning this out. And what I really try to do is bounce between Clorox distribution centers. I almost always haul brokered freight. So what the deal is on, I think I'm going to speed up, get around this fucker. On USA Trucks Load Board, the normal contract freight, and you can't just call it contract freight either, because the brokered loads, they are contract freight as well. Like the Clorox loads that I pull that are brokered loads, we have a contract with Clorox. I know this because I've talked with the director over the owner-operator program, who is also the director over the brokers, because USA Truck has a brokerage, and he was telling me about we were talking about the Clorox contract, because I was getting really screwed over about a rejected load, and he was apologizing and saying, unfortunately, Clorox is one of those large companies that has a lot of sorry, just a second, checking mirrors and stuff on lane change. They have contracts that are heavily favored toward them because they're such a big company. But anyway, as soon as I make it around him, we go up the biggest hill we've gone over so far, and I'm all the way down to 63 miles an hour. USA Truck well enough to explain it well. Whenever you understand something really well, you can explain it to others more easily. And it would probably not come across. What the hell is that? A chair? Damn chair. Holy crap, there's a whole bunch of stuff. That must have been a really bad accident if the fucking seat out of the car was sitting on the road. There was just pieces of crap everywhere. Damn. But anyway, the regular loads don't pay nearly as well. Usually, this is not always the case, but usually they don't pay nearly as well as the brokered stuff. The brokered stuff is the stuff that I think, I'm not 100%, but I think USA Truck brokers loads on the spot market, and they'll also throw those loads onto the load board for the owner-ops that are leased on with USA Truck. So they're having to put those loads at rates that will entice people to pull them off of the spot market. And right now, the spot market, it's my understanding, the spot market is doing really well right now. And the rates on those loads that they're brokering to us are really good. I was looking at a load yesterday, and I was watching a video of the Landstar driver, and I mentioned this in a video yesterday. I showed the video clip of it, but Landstar had a load that was going from Ontario, California to South George, Utah, or St. George, Utah, whatever it is. It's this little town in southwest Utah, out in the middle of no damn where, and it generally pays really well because it's out in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna have to deadhead back to LA to get a load. I mean, you might be able to get a load out of Vegas, but Vegas is like the nearest place. And I don't think Vegas is too terribly good for freight. But Landstar was paying $1,400 for that load, and USA Truck was paying $29.95, so like $3,000 for that load. Landstar was like $1,445, so $1,500, and USA was $3,000. Now, it wasn't the exact same load, but it was the same lane, basically. So the USA Trucks load was picking up in Redlands, which is like 12 miles, 20 miles away from Ontario, and it was going to St. George. So it was a nearly identical load, and USA Truck was paying twice as much as Landstar. That just tells you how much money the brokers are pocketing. That's crazy. I've heard ridiculous things like brokers take like 50% of the load. I just, man, they really need to move away from brokers. Brokers aren't necessary anymore like they used to be. We have the technology that shippers and carriers should be able to work directly together and bypass brokers. They just need to come up with like an app where shippers can post loads and carriers can, pick them up. Come on, motherfuckers! What the hell? Stupid jackasses are just like chilling over in the left-hand lane beside me. As soon as I put on my indicator, they sped up to keep me from moving over. It's nice to not be governed at a low speed, because these assholes are like coasting down the hills really fast, but they're governed at low speeds. It makes it a real pain in the ass getting around these fuckers. Like, they're coasting at like 76, 77 right now down these hills. I'm going 80 to get around them. But both of these guys are governed probably at 70 or less. stats behind me are a little bit lighter than me. So this upcoming hill, I think I'm gonna get a run at it. I'm gonna speed up to like 75, speed limit, so that I can maintain distance. Because they'll get really pissed off if they start catching up with me on a hill after I just passed them. And then it will become their goal in life to make it around me. Some of my, and I brought a ton of, this truck is packed. There's a highway patrol getting on. I ate some of my hamburger helper beef stroganoff. That's my favorite. That's the one I get every time. I've tried some of the other ones, and it's just, no, it's not. Beef stroganoff is by far my favorite. And, tuna helper, sometimes tuna helper isn't that bad, but the last time I had it, I was just like, nah, this isn't for me. I don't think I'm ever going to bother with tuna helper again. It's just kind of nasty. However, it does say that you can use, like, rotisserie chicken or something like that in place of tuna. So maybe I'll do tuna helper again in the future, but do chicken instead of tuna. The reason I switched over to tuna helper was because the meat prices got insane. $20 for it was like 7 pounds, or $7 a pound. It was $20 for a 3-pound roll of beef, ground beef. And that's like the cheapest, like, beef that you can buy is just ground up, whatever leftover stuff they put in it. There's something I've been thinking about is when I went and picked up this empty in Falls Valley at the Walmart distribution center, somebody came over to chat with me because they saw that the trailer I was picking up was really low, and they were giving me some pointers on how to get it up off the ground. We got to talking. It was a creek driver, and I was like, why in the hell are they letting you drive around in a golf cart? And he's like, well, because this is our distribution center. He said, we're the primary carrier for this distribution center. He said Walmart doesn't. The Walmart drivers, they don't pull loads out of here. This is a Crete distribution center. I was like, wow, that must be a nice contract. He's like, yeah, Walmart will pull loads out of here, but just to help out, just to supplement. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. But that is a little concerning. If Walmart is giving out those exclusivity contracts to carriers, we may get into a position where Walmart is not like hauling loads with everybody like USA Truck. Maybe they'll move to more exclusive contracts and they'll only work with a few carriers. The problem with that is that Walmart is going to want to do business with big national carriers. So because USA Truck doesn't drive in the entire 48 contiguous U.S. states, that would probably exclude them from consideration of signing one of those contracts. Because I've worked, national and international companies, and they don't like to do business with local or regional businesses. Like the last company I worked at, they had a cafeteria service that they used, and they didn't like having to sign, a contract with every different location, every one of their office buildings for different cafeteria services. They wanted to work with a national company or an international company where they could just work with like one company to do all of the places, and it's a lot less headache for them than work with tons of different companies. I don't know, it's probably unwarranted speculation. It's probably not going to be an issue. And they're always going to do business with other carriers because, they can't just, like Walmart retailers in general, they have big peak periods that only last for a week or two. So they'll have periods where they can't have enough trucks to handle it. So they're always going to have to be bringing in outside work. It just may be that pulling Walmart loads on a fairly regular basis may diminish. But who knows? Maybe this is how they've been working for a long time, and it's nothing to worry about. I think USA Truck is actually getting a lot more freight. Amazon seems to be something that's picking up. They've been sending out, they have a new app on our tablet, the Amazon Relay app, and they've sent out some messages on it, but I get so many damn messages and I have so much shit that I deal with that I can't remember all the stuff. But I do remember them sending out a message earlier within the last few days saying that if you pull an Amazon load, you have to install their app on your phone and keep it open and running throughout the entire load. So I'm guessing that's so that they can track you directly. I know that FedEx does that because who was it? It was what the hell's his name? And you know what? I'm not, even if I can remember what his name is, I'm not going to say it because I can't remember 100% if it was him or if it was somebody else that I'm getting mixed up with him. There's somebody I watch on YouTube that started up their own little fleet, and they have a FedEx contract, or they're working under a FedEx contract. I don't know exactly how it works, but he was talking about a driver that I think he got busted with weed, and the truck wasn't moving, and it was like a team truck, and the truck was sitting there for a while, and FedEx contacted him, was like, why the hell is the truck not moving? Because they have tracking equipment on the truck. I think the FedEx trailers themselves have tracking equipment on them. So there's a speed trap ahead, says Google. It's probably that highway patrol that got on back there. Probably just driving by somebody and somebody threw it up onto the Google as a speed trap. He's probably not even stopped up here. He's probably just driving by. There he is. He's got somebody pulled over. And that was quick. I had to like triple check that 15-foot sign. I was like, that fucker looks low. So apparently there's some brake check week coming up. They sent out a message and said that TA is doing a free vehicle inspection, which that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind going in there and getting a free inspection at TA. The only problem is how long am I going to have to sit around and wait for that inspection? They supposedly it's like basically a pre-trip, or close to a pre-trip. They check your tread depth, your brakes, make sure the lining on the brake is good, lights. I don't know if they check fluids. I don't think they do. A service plaza. Shit, is this the one? Is this the only one? I thought there was one in the damn middle of the road. There's not going to be another one really close. Damn it. That's where I should have stopped. Now we'll figure out some other place to stop. I thought it was in the middle. The one in the middle must be on the other side of Tulsa. That thing has a huge parking lot. Straight there, I would get there like, what time would I get there? It's 10 a.m. now, about 11:30. So I've got to stop for about 2 hours somewhere. One of the things that concerns me about, well, for anybody who doesn't watch all my videos, my goal is to get on with Landstar. I don't have the experience required to apply for them. I have, since I got back into trucking this time, I graduated CDL school. I got my CDL sometime in February, beginning of February, I want to say. 7th or something, maybe. I can't remember. I want to say it was around February 7th to 12th, somewhere in that area. And I started with USA Truck a couple of days later. But, sorry, there's a bunch of cars passing me. There's a bunch of cars coming up on me. Traffic is getting pretty bad. Everybody slept in until about 10, and now they're all getting out on the road. Because we are out in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's a whole lot of nothing between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Traffic there is out here. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, you know, Landstar. Yeah, something I've been thinking about, like Landstar, there are a lot of positive things about Landstar. And the only real negative things I've heard about them is that they are really, 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 really strict. They have a lot of rules, and they are really strict on those rules, and they are really quick to cancel your contract if you do anything wrong. And I have seen YouTube videos. I don't know these people personally, and some people lie on YouTube. Some people people just lie everywhere, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. But they have a really strict policy apparently on safe parking, and if they ever find out that you're parked along the side of a roadway and it's not an emergency, like if you're parked on the shoulder to take a 30-minute break, or you park for the night on an on-ramp or an off-ramp, they'll just like immediately terminate you over that shit. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any damn sense to me. I have, slept on on-ramps and off-ramps. I try not to sleep on off-ramps. I think it's a lot safer to sleep on an on-ramp than an off-ramp. So I've slept on an on-ramp before, but it was not a busy on-ramp. I've only done it like once or twice. And the one time that I can remember I did it, it was on some highway in central Arkansas, north central Arkansas, and there was not a single car that drove by me on that on-ramp while I was taking a 2-hour nap. Like, it was out in the middle of nowhere, and it was like 2 a.m. But anyway, there's like no leniency, there's no discussion, there's no, like, once they verify that it happened, if they find out that you parked on a roadway or somewhere that wasn't a completely legal place to park, because on on-ramps and off-ramps you're not allowed to park on any kind of shoulder unless it's an emergency. You're not legally allowed to park there to like take a nap. So thanks a lot. Oh shit. Let's just ride really fucking close together. This person has no idea that I'm 80,000 pounds. And if they slam on their brakes right now, there's no way that I can stop. And he's just gonna speed match me. Went around me, got right in front of me, and now he's gonna go like 1 mile an hour faster than me. We're coming up on a hill where I'm gonna slow down. That'll hopefully create some space. Eastbound Service Plaza, ramp closed. Son of a bitch! This is the place I was thinking of. This was where I was planning on stopping. And they've got the damn exit closed. We can't. I knew there was one in the center right about here. Son of a biscuit. Yeah, they're not playing. They didn't just put out some cones that you could drive around. They put out some concrete barriers. Good Lord, man. It's got it completely shut down to the eastbound side. They've got the road stripped out. There's grass growing because they've had the road stripped out for so long. Are they just like, what's happening to this place? Are they going to put in a new road, or what's going on? Are they just shutting that place down because they have the other one not too far down the road? That sucks. I don't think there's anything else. There is a convenience store, if I can remember where it's at, that is like 20 miles south of the Walmart. Oh, this OnQ has diesel. Oh, they want to mess with that. I'm just going to try to get at that little quick trip or whatever it is, 20 miles south of Walmart. It's middle of the day on a Sunday, so hopefully there's going to be a spot there. There's maybe like 15 to 20 spots place, and because there's not a lot of parking close to Walmart, it pretty much stays packed all the time with people waiting on appointments. The Pauls Valley, the distribution center, the Walmart DC down at Pauls Valley, oh my goodness, crazy amounts of parking down there. Enormous parking lots across the street from Walmart. One of them was a paid lot. It was $5 a day, but it was a massive parking lot. There was nobody in there. It was just a huge wide open lot. And there was another free lot that was like right next to it that was, you know, also a massive parking lot where there was almost nobody in it. So yeah, it's really hit or miss on these Walmart DCs. These Walmart DCs should really do something. Like any place, I feel that any place that is really strict on appointment times, they should figure out some kind of parking for people to sit and wait for their appointments. Because it just puts a burden on the city that they're operating in, because these trucks are going to have to go park on on-ramps or where the hell ever they can find a park to wait. So I think any of these cities that are letting Walmart distribution centers set up need to make them buy property for overflow, for parking, for people to wait on their damn appointments. Stater Brothers, Target, all the places that are moving to these really rigid appointment times and fining people stupid amounts of money, like $500 for showing up a minute early. They should all be forced to have parking there to wait on appointments. But kind of the whole point of the appointments is so that they can operate with minimal space. They don't have to have as much parking there if they have these really strict appointments, because if they allow people to show up late or early or whatever, then they have to have more parking. So like it's a really shitty way of these places like Walmart to save money and kind of screw over everybody else. All the carriers that are having to deal with Walmart are getting screwed over, and then the cities that they operate in are getting screwed over. Everybody's getting screwed over except Walmart. They're the only ones that win in that situation. They can buy a smaller piece of property, not have to have as much parking, and just save money. It's nice to be back out on the road. I know some people, I don't know, I know people that don't like to be home. They like to be out on the road. I won't say that they're common, but there are some people out here that just like to be out on the road. I love to be out on the road. The only reason I really stress out when I'm away from the house for so long is because of things that need to be done at the house. There are things that need to be taken care of, so I just need to swing into the house every couple of weeks to get that stuff taken care of. And I have some major repairs and things that I need to do on the truck, and doing them at home is a lot more convenient than, you know, out on the road somewhere. So a lot of times that increases my home time. Like next time I go home, I'm planning on getting the cab realigned, and that's going to be a 1 to 2 day repair. So whenever I go home, I'm going to have to wait until that repair is done before I schedule a load to leave the house, because I'm not going to know exactly when that repair is going to be done. So I might be home for shit. Next time I go home, I'm probably going to be there for a week, because my get there at like Friday night, the place only works 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Well, so come Monday, whenever they open, they may be booked that day, so they may not be able to get me until Tuesday, and then it may take them 2 days. Who knows? And then I may not be able to find a load out by the time that they get the truck fixed. You know, it may be Wednesday afternoon, so there may not be anything to pick up on the load board Thursday, and I'll have to wait till the Thursday loads are posted, and there may not be any good Friday loads on it. There may not be any good loads for the rest of the week. I may have to wait until Monday of the following week to leave the house. So I'm going to try to stay out for at least 2 weeks, because I might be at home for a week the next time I do home time. I might stay out for 3 weeks. We'll see. We'll see what loads happen, like what comes up. And this is what I fucking love about being an owner-operator, picking my own fucking loads and not having, you know, a dispatcher that I have to deal with. Is I can just do whatever I feel like. You know, if I get burnt out and I just want to sit and take a couple of days off, I can schedule a load, you know, a couple of days out, or a load that has extra time on it. Maybe I'm just getting really tired, worn out from driving hard, or maybe I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like being behind the wheel, and I just want to run really hard. You know, I can just change everything based on the loads that I'm picking and how I feel at that moment. But as of right now, I'm kind of wanting to run hard, and I'm wanting to get a lot of money built up over the next 2 or 3 weeks, because I plan on getting some major repairs done, and it's going to be really expensive. We got a RV up here. Nice clear lane to the left of me. Whoa, what the hell is he got some shit hanging off on the left side? Is that his little porch, or no, it's a ladder? Has he got a ladder? Yep, he's got a damn ladder. He's fixing a mirror or something. There were 2 people in the front, and he was standing up on a ladder trying to fix a mirror or something. That's the plan as of right now, is to roll hard, make as much money as possible over the next approximately 3 weeks. I don't have any intentions of swinging by the house. If I do get a load going by the house, then I may swing in to do a 34, or I may stay at home. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm in a position where I'm prepared to be out on the road for 3 weeks. Scaled at. So 2,300 pounds to spare. truck stop was closed. Well, the ramps to get there were closed. Let's ramble back to the Landstar thing that I was talking about earlier that I probably didn't finish talking about. They have that safe something, I don't know what the policy is called, but I've heard several of their drivers on YouTube talk about it. And Landstar has a lot of policies they're really strict on. And they will just cancel contracts, first offense on their policies there. That was the one negative thing about them. I've heard is that they have zero tolerance for just about anything, which really sucks because you're talking about your livelihood and shit happens. And, if something happens, something that, you screw up in a minor thing. A lot of their policies, it's very minor stuff. But since they have zero tolerance on pretty much everything, it just, man, it can really destroy you. So, I don't know, I'm still going to try to get on with Landstar. One of the YouTubers that I watch, Ryan and Sophia, they have a really long channel name, I forget what the whole thing is, but he's a Landstar driver. Talking about one of his recent videos that some asshole that was watching his video thought that he was parked along the side of the road while he was making the video, and some stupid piece of shit, some worthless motherfucker tattled over something that was not an issue, made up some bullshit, and called Landstar and said, gave him a snippet of the video and said, this guy's out there parked alongside of the road making videos. And safety called him, and he had to sit there and prove to safety that he was not parked on the shoulder of the road when he made that video. And he was able to prove to them that he wasn't. But, those kind of stupid, if he wasn't able to prove that, Landstar probably would have fired him. There was another channel that I watch that they used to work for Landstar, and they got fired. What was their channel name? Not the Crafty Trucker. Those two started doing Expedited. I think they still work for Landstar. Was it Selena? I think it was Selena. Selena and her boyfriend or husband. I think it was Selena. I think Selena is in the channel name somewhere. Selena something. But her and her husband or boyfriend, they were a team, and they were driving for Landstar, and they were on some kind of dedicated account where they were making, I think they said, over $500,000 a year on that dedicated account. And they got an apartment so that her son would have some place to stay over the summer to hang out with them. And they were going to take some extra time off in the summer, and they wanted an apartment so that, their son would have some place to stay. Stuff like that, personal stuff. And they parked the truck bobtail along the street at the apartment complex. Street parked it. And there's some asshole that worked for DOT that lived in the apartment complex that called Landstar and reported them to Landstar for street parking the truck, because apparently this asshole knew about Landstar's policies on street parking. And Landstar contacted Selena and them, and they admitted to it. They were like, my brakes to let those people get by faster. I don't really give a shit about four-wheelers. Now, big trucks, I'll adjust my speed to not slow them down, if possible. But four-wheelers, fuck them. If there's a four-wheeler coming up on me in the left-hand lane, and I'm coming up on a slow vehicle like this, on a hill, where I'm probably going to be slowing down, fuck that four-wheeler. It's like I'm going to inconvenience them by 30 seconds. That vehicle can get up to speed in no time at all. So, I don't, like when I first started driving, I would try not to inconvenience four-wheelers, but shit. After having these dumbasses cut me off all day and do all the stupid shit that they do, no, I don't give a shit about four-wheelers. Alright, we're cresting the hill, we're building up the speeds, we're doing the things. But anyway, so basically Landstar just called them up, verified, what was going on with them, and I can't remember the details of what exactly happened next, how long it took for Landstar to fire them, but they basically, an investigation happened, and at the end of the investigation, their contract was terminated. According to them, and this is, just one side of the story, and I've talked about them before. That guy looks like he's on an off-ramp or something. He's way off the road. Either that or the road takes a hell of a turn right there. That's just really shitty. Like, they said, according to them, that they have never, ever, ever been in any kind of trouble with Landstar. Never been on any kind of warning, never had any issue at all with Landstar. Oh, this is where we go to 3 lanes. And to be fired over street parking your truck bobtail next to your house, that 80-mile-per-hour speed limit, that's new. That is new. When did that happen? It's always been 75. I'm not going that fast. I still got my cruise set at 70. I'm not in a hurry, and I don't want to burn the fuel. Damn, 80. That's got to be new. I don't remember it being 80 through here. But that's one of the things I'm concerned with on Landstar. There's no perfect company out there. Every company has their issues. Landstar is really, 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 really concerned about their reputation. So if you do anything to damage their reputation, you're gone. That's basically what all their rules amount to. Is if you do anything to mess up their CSA score or put them into a position where their CSA score could get messed up, or cause a lawsuit, or basically in any way affect their income, then they're going to let you go. And I think the reason they're so strict on the safe parking thing is, I think if I remember correctly, if I heard correctly, it's rumor and speculation and hearsay, and I have not fact-checked this, but I think somebody said that several years ago, Landstar had one of those multi-million-dollar lawsuits from somebody that was illegally parked on the shoulder, like sleeping on an on-ramp or something like that, and they got rear-ended, and I'm a fairly by-the-book person, but damn, man, there's got to be some gray area somewhere. Like, does this mean that I wouldn't be able to park my truck in front of my house anymore if I worked for Landstar? I'm going to have to hit them up and ask. Like, that would be a major pain in the ass. Basically, what I'd have to do is the place where I pay to park the trailer, I would just have to park my entire tractor and trailer there. I mean, they charge the same amount, whether it's the tractor and the trailer or both. But I would have to, it would cost me extra money to get like an Uber ride up to my house, and it would be a pain in the ass to like get shit back and forth. Like as it is right now, you know, I go grocery shopping and do all that stuff in my house. I can just walk out, pack stuff into the truck. You know, I can take my laundry out of the truck. Like there's a bunch of shit that I move back and forth off and then back onto my truck whenever I do home time. And to have to do that across 15 miles, because it's about 15 miles from my house to where I park the trailer. If I had to park the tractor there as well, then I'm either going to have to be Ubering back and forth, and hopefully Uber doesn't mind me having a ton of luggage with me. Or I'm going to have to, you know, just have Uber take me to my house, and I'm going to have to use my personal vehicle to shuttle things back and forth. And for anybody who doesn't know, my personal vehicle isn't really meant for shuttling shit around. It's a 370Z. It has 2 seats and a very, very, very small trunk space. It's I can't really carry much of anything in my car. I like one basket of groceries at the grocery store fills up my entire trunk. I can barely get my trunk closed with like half a basket of groceries. That's about the most I can put in the car. I might have to make multiple trips to get food and laundry and everything else back and forth to the truck. I don't know, I'll probably call a recruiter or something. I don't know if I'm gonna like dig deep into it before I try and get on with Landstar, or if I'm just gonna get on with Landstar, deal with whatever rules they have, and then decide later whether or not I want to stay with Landstar because of their rules. Just see how much of a hassle they are. Somebody's probably gone into detail about what exactly the safe parking rule is at Landstar. So maybe I'll hit them up on that and you know, see if I can watch the video that has more details on what exactly their rule is. Like if all it basically is you know, don't park illegally on an on-ramp or off-ramp or in a roadway, then I can, you know, that's cool, I can handle that. But if it is like, you can't park along any street or any roadway, even if it's legal, I don't really know what to say. Because there's been a lot of shippers and receivers that, like, Stater Brothers, people were parked down the side of the street waiting on appointments. So if you drove for Landstar, you're just kind of fucked. You got to drive 20 miles to the nearest truck stop. I don't know. I haven't had any issues since I've been with USA Truck. There's been, you know, honestly, even the last time I was in trucking, for like 3 or 4 years, I don't really recall having any issues. I've always been a pretty by-the-book driver. I've never had a failed DOT inspection or anything like that. basically, I got the window repaired, and next time I was in California, I just pulled into a weigh station, showed them the ticket. They didn't even go outside and look at the damn window to verify it was fixed. They just said, you're good to go. I was like, that's it? They're like, yep, that's it. I don't even think they wrote anything down on the computer, so I don't even know if I technically had to go back and show them that it was fixed. I don't know. I was terrified because it's the only ticket I've ever gotten in my life up to that point. But yeah, I don't know. As long as Landstar doesn't have ridiculous rules, I shouldn't have a problem because I pretty much don't do any weird stuff or illegal stuff or anything. I hope that's not a live animal that's chilling right there. We're gonna straddle it. I don't even know what that was. It looked like tar or something, a roll of tar. Might have been a piece of a tire turned inside out or something. Wide shoulders here on this toll road. These trucks like to pull over and like sleep in these things. There's some that are really, really wide. This guy's at least got his four ways on. Rolling until I stop. Bumping. Trying to take a nap on my 2-hour break, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it in a previous video. I think I mentioned it in the video this morning when I was leaving the house, but I figured out more on some options down to 56 miles an hour going up this hill. I found some more options, or figured out some more options. I read some manuals and stuff on my APU and figured out how to set the climate control on it. Now, it's really janky. It's a pain in the ass. It's a bunch of menus you have to go through to set a whole bunch of crap. Speed limit down to 75 again. We're getting close to Tulsa. Driving through Tulsa here in a minute, and when we get going through the center of town, the switch over to Highway 75 has us going through some hairpin shit. So when we start going through the center of town that we're going to be driving through is going to be some really slow driving. Left lane exit. It's kind of a bitch. Like, warning for it. So if there's a lot of traffic, it can be pretty crazy driving through there. But anyway, there is a way, because one of the problems I've had, not really too much with the APU, but mainly with the main air conditioner, because the main air conditioner on this truck is so much better than the APU. The APU has a lot of difficulty keeping the truck cool. The main unit, though, can get it really, really cold in here. I was wondering why those people were moving over. And that's why. But I did find out that you can program a temperature. What I've been doing with the APU up to this point was just setting the air conditioner on max. You can set the fan speed and the temperature you want it to blow out at, but you can't like set it for a temperature. So if it cools off in the middle of the night, it might get really, really, really cold in here. But there is a comfort monitor option you can enable, and you can set the temperature, and it will maintain that temperature. The only thing that sucks about it is you can't set it to heat or cold mode. You can just set a temperature, and if it gets 2 degrees above or below that temperature, it will turn on the air conditioner or the heater. Like whenever I initially turned it on, it was still cold from the main unit running because I just shut the truck off, and it ran the heater. Because I had it set at 68 degrees and it was like 66 degrees in here, and it ran the heater to get it up to 68. I was like, motherfucker. So it's still a janky piece of shit, but I'm figuring out more and more of the options. A lot of tires on the road. Speed ahead. Let's go ahead and tap the brakes. Throw on the engine brakes. Going down to 65. Now we're going down to 60. Set the cruise right there at 60. I got exiting or parked? He's parked. On the damn shoulder. Looks like a big turnout. There's a bunch of people parking there for the night or something. One guy's over there underneath the tree just sleeping his ass off. The guy's just parked right in the fucking middle of an off-ramp. What a dumbass. That is so dangerous. Sending us mixed signals. Now it says 60. Now it says 50. This jackass going to pass me over on the right. His truck will do 70, so that's what he's going to do. It's probably he's covered at 65. This is how these companies that are governed at low speeds. How they get speeding tickets. Yeah, FedEx, they're almost always 65. Well, I need to stick to the left anyway to stay on 44, or 244 actually. I don't know what the hell FedEx is doing. There's trucks governed at low speeds, like trucks that are governed at between 55 and 65. Those are the companies that have the most speeding tickets because those drivers just run at their governor regardless of what the speed limit is. You go in you just finish passing, all the Swifts, CRSTs, every other one of those companies, and then it looks so low. 15.9. Yeah, 15.9. Plenty of room. But it doesn't look that tall. It looks really low. We're just kind of chilling. We're doing like 62 and a 65. Just chilling through here. Traffic is really light. The right lane is. So we're gonna go down to a single lane and probably merge on with another highway or interstate and gain some lanes back. You'll just finish passing CRSTs and Stevens, Raider Express, Swift, and all the LTL companies. And then you'll hit construction or a town on a highway or something, and the speed limit will drop down to like 60, 55, 50, 40 or something. And all those dumbasses fly by you, still going the exact same speed they were on the interstate. Or, the previous section of the road where they were going 60, 65. They don't slow down for that shit. Sorry, watching all my mirrors, I don't like hanging out on the left, so I was trying to get over here. But these sons of bitches are going way over the speed limit. Past me, so I had to wait for them to get by. We're doing 63, 64 right now, and 65. North. Drop down to 55. 75 North is the road I want to be on, but for some reason, Google doesn't have me take this exit. Google has me keep going down and take another. I don't know why, but I looked at the route Google has me take, and it makes sense. It's a good route, so maybe getting off right here to get on 75 North has me go someplace I don't need to go or something. I don't know what the deal is, but instead of getting off for 75 North right here, sorry, Google is just talking and talking and talking. These dumb shits. you see how little notice there was on that? It's like, hey, this is a left lane exit only, and then bam, it exited. Now we have to hop over some lanes. Alright, so this should be my lane. That's 6A, 6B is the next one. I don't know if this is a better route than taking the exit back there or 75 north. Let everybody know that we're taking this exit. Shit that I was talking about. All these, this little interchange right here getting on 75. A little bit of a pain in the ass. But once we get on 75 here, it's pretty good. Now, it's just easy going from here on out. We're just like 30, 40 miles away right now. We're at the northern part of Tulsa. All these people know that I'm going to get over to the right lane so that they don't whip out and try to pass me to the right. Stay in the left to pass. So it says 30 miles until my exit. So I'm going to be looking for that damn convenience store. I looked for it last time and I couldn't find it. I missed it. But I didn't need to stop last time because I had like a 24-hour delivery window that I was within. Whoa, that was genius move there, you dumb shit. I saw him flying up on the right and I was like, he is not taking that fucking exit. These brilliant dumbasses. Some people are so stupid. You just wonder how they've made it this far into life. Maybe we have too many too many safety controls in place. We need to be a little bit more survival of the fittest. Pegged on 65, but we got some 55 mile per hour turns. I think there's a couple of these before we hit the real open road. And we're a big truck near max weight hauling water, so we're gonna take it easy through these turns. Majority of truck drivers are good drivers. It's just a few bad eggs that kind of make everybody look bad. I get one dumbass in the VW Bug passed in the exit lane, and wasn't even in the exit lane really. It was in a median where he passed me. The exit lane had ended whenever they cut over. by me that slowed down to 55 with me for that. Come on. You telling me that Nismo can't do that? I'm gonna have to move over for a fucking sports car. And that's gotta be like the whole reason to have a sports car is you get up to speed on a damn on-ramp. And he's got Nismo stickers on that. I have that looks like an older Z, probably a 350. I have a 370Z, the newer version. Well, it's still an old version, but it's the newer. But Nismo is the like top tier. It's the top trim, the expensive model with more horsepower and stuff. And that guy has Nismo stuff. So that one's supposedly the higher horsepower, everything. I'm all for people driving around safely and everything, but don't run me off the road because you're not willing to press down the throttle to get up to speed. Especially when I know you can in a car like that. That's one thing I love about my Z is, man, it is insanely responsive. It's not like incredibly light. It's like 37-ish hundred pounds, around 3,700 pounds, I think. And but man, it accelerates. There's another Z. It's the newer one's the 370. They accelerate really quick. They stop really quick. They turn really quick. They are incredibly responsive. Like when I take off from a light, I can be all the way through the light before other cars. I've like made it past the crosswalk just because it just like takes off. And accelerating on an on-ramp, damn. Like my Ford Escape that I had before my Z, you press down on the throttle and it would make a lot of noise and it would like jerk around and it felt like you were about to travel back in time or something. Like it made a lot of noise and it felt like it was moving and stuff, but you just like barely accelerated. On the Z, it doesn't really feel like you're moving at all, and you take off. Is this it? Yeah, I see a cat scale sign. I think this might be it. Phillips 66 with a cat scale sign. I'll be able to tell if this is it when we get up there. If it's not, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna there's a place to park here, this is where I'm going to park. This so far, yep, this is it. I remember it. Yeah, yep, this is the one. Fuck yeah, we found it. Why does this say no semi-trucks? No semi-trucks, no semi-trucks. There's no other entrance. Where else are you supposed to go in at? I'm so confused. The other entrance is blocked. Landstar just fucking nosed in there. You can't see it on the video, but to the right of me, Landstar nosed into a spot, and then and they backed out. So I'm waiting for them to do whatever the hell they're going to do. Get my belt off so I can maneuver. I don't know what they're trying to do. What I'm going to do is the place where Landstar nosed in, I'm going to back in there normally. But all these things are angled, so it's going to be a little bit of a bitch. But doable. Yeah, I think that they really want people to pull in the other entrance over there, but it's all blocked off with construction. Chasing it. Sorry, I'm having to watch behind me and in front of me. Behind, front. Alright, now we're set up pretty good. Now we're just going to straighten out. Perfect for straight back. Trying to beat Landstar in the spot. I was racing them. Competitive nature. Right side is going to be my close side. Still got a few more feet. See the shadow. There we go. I'm pretty damn close. Alright, now let's switch over to sleeper berth. And basically we're going to take a couple hours off. Let's see what time it is. It is 11:15 and we're a lot closer than I planned on being. So it's not going to be, I'm only going to need, I think I'm like maybe 20 miles away. I'll have to double check whenever I end the video and I can look at the GPS. We're roughly 20 miles away, I think, so I only need about 20 minutes to get there. So I'm going to try to be there like just a couple minutes after 2, somewhere around 2:10. So it's 11:15. So 2 hours would be 1:15. So probably gonna be like a 2.5 hour break. I'm gonna leave here at about probably 1:40 to 1:45, and I'm gonna do it on the 2 hour portion of the 8-2 split. The 2 hour portion can be off duty or sleeper or a mixture of both. The only strict portion on the 8-2 split is the 8 hour portion has to be sleeper, uninterrupted. If you go into off duty for like 1 second in the middle of your sleeper time, it resets it. You're gonna have to do a full 10 hours off if that happens. So I'm gonna log it in the sleeper, but honestly I could log it in whatever the hell I want, off duty or sleeper, for the for this 2 hour portion. But that's it. That's the video. Gonna take a couple hour break, and then I'm gonna crawl in and try to take a nap. Go ahead and turn my headlights off, but I always leave my running and clearance lights on. I'm going to fire up the APU. Is it turning on? Can't tell if it's turning on. There it goes. Alright, and it has the comfort controls enabled, so the one thing that sucks about this one versus the tri-pack is the tri-pack, I really don't have to worry about it. Once it's programmed, I could just, hop in and turn on the truck and be good to go. This thing, it'll actually kick on while the truck is running. If I leave that climate control thing on, I have to actually manually turn off the APU if I have that climate control shit turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and close my main blinds up here. Take the phone back. Show you what's going on. Just close my main blinds. I'm in the sleeper berth on the ELD. I don't need to do a post trip or anything because I'm just taking a break. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the display on the ELD just so a button doesn't actually get, not actually, accidentally get hit and like throw me out of the sleeper. But see how nice and dark it gets in here? Well, it's real nice. And if I really want it pitch black in here, it looks brighter than it is on the camera because the camera is really good at picking up light. It's actually really dark in here. But, if I close these blinds, I can get it really, really pitch black. But I think what I might do is fire up some Twilight Zone on Netflix on this TV, my new TV. Run it off my laptop and just sit here and kind of lay in bed for a couple hours watching some old Twilight Zone episodes. My CB is just, I don't have it fully, I don't have the mount screwed down to hold it in place because I'm still kind of working on it. So I'm not turning it on because I heard you can damage it if it's out of tune the way it is. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.